Hey guys, what's up? Sorry I haven't made a video in a while. That's everyone's excuse here on YouTube, but I mean, I'm just kind of at that point in life where I have school and ROTC, and I'm getting ready to ship off for basic camp, ROTC basic camp in Fort Knox, Kentucky in about a week here. So I have a little break right now where I can make a video, but it's just crazy, guys. I mean, I would have never imagined all like the gear stuff and the paperwork I had to do before joining the army. I mean, just like mind blown with all that stuff. But I have a break where I can make a video real quick, and I wanted to make something because I haven't made a video in a while. And that's not because I haven't had ideas to make videos. I just haven't had time. I'm thinking about things that I want to make videos on, but I'm like, oh, I gotta find a way to fit that in, like things like things I want to review and other stuff. But right now, I wanted to really make a video about something that is really applicable to this time, which is suppressors. Suppressors have been getting a lot of attention recently in the firearms industry and firearms in general. People who like firearms, YouTubers are making videos on them. We have this whole Hearing Protection Act. I'm going to assume you know what that is. If you don't know what it is, I have a different video on it, which you can go look up, or you can just Google it. It's pretty cool. But ever since all that stuff happened, suppressors have been really hitting the mainstream. So I wanted to make a video on why now is the time to buy a suppressor. Um, and that's not only economically, but also just for the firearms industry in general. The firearms industry has hit a depression ever since Trump came into office, and you know that's understandable. People are not scare buying anymore like they were under Obama. But for someone like me who wants to get a job in the firearms industry, whether that be like marketing or sales or maybe video production, who knows. But that's kind of scary for me. I want the industry to do well, but it's kind of understandable that firearm sales have dipped in general. Now, that is extremely the case for suppressors. Suppressors have gone way down in sales, and that's really weird because suppressors were at record highs right before the Hearing Protection Act was introduced. They were selling like hotcakes, and the ATF were having a hard time keeping up. And then the Hearing Protection Act was introduced. And then suddenly everyone thinks, oh, I'll just wait till that passes and then I'll buy a suppressor and I won't have to deal with all this paperwork and I won't have to deal with the tax stamp. And also, people were thinking, oh, once it passes, the suppressor prices are going to go down because of competition and stuff like that. And I'm sorry to break it to you, and I thought that way too. I thought that way too. I was like, oh, I'll wait till it passes and then I'll get a suppressor. However, that's not going to be the case. Once the HPA passes, you're not going to be able to find suppressors, and if you are, they're going to be heavily scalped in record highs, and it's going to be that way for probably a couple years. Let's just be honest. Like, thinking this through, everyone and their brother is going to run out and buy a suppressor once the HPA passes. So, and that's assuming it passes again. If you read up on the HPA, you'll start to realize, hey, this might not be such a done deal, even though we have a president who would sign it into law. So that's reason number one you should buy one, is just why you should buy one now, is because their suppressors are kind of in a recession right now, and it would really help out the suppressor companies. I know Silencer Co. laid off like a ton of employees recently within this year just because what they think is that the Hearing Protection Act has really hurt sales because people aren't buying them. And there's also a bylaw written into the Hearing Protection Act which will refund your tax stamp if it passes. So that's not a reason, because the tax stamp isn't a reason to wait, because even if you buy one now, your tax stamp will be refunded if it does pass. And yeah, it would be really good for the industry. Second of all, because they're in a depression right now, silencers and suppressor manufacturers are really taking price cuts. Like, if you go to silencershop.com, a lot of their things are on sale, which is really surprising. I mean, there's been some pretty surprising discounts. The one that my dad is buying is heavily discounted. Not only that, is we're buying it from Griffin Armament, so they give a $200 voucher for Griffin Armament products, which we're going to use to buy some muzzle brakes and stuff. So you get the $200 voucher for Griffin Armament attachments and muzzle devices. Plus, if the HPA passes, you get $200 back on that tax stamp which you bought. So it's looking like a really good time to buy suppressors just for the economic reason. So that's what has convinced me to try and put some pressure to get my dad, because I can't buy one yet. I'm not 21. Which is really another thing is would have been cool is if the HPA passed, because then as a 19-year-old I could have bought a suppressor because they would have been regulated just like long guns. But anyway, that's just a rabbit hole. But yeah, so I put some pressure on my dad. I was telling him, hey dad, right now is a really good time to buy a suppressor. And he looked into it and he's like, yeah, you're right. It's a wonderful time, because if you wait till the HPA passes, you're not going to be able to find one. And right now the prices are really cheap, like surprisingly cheap. Just look around. You'll notice that like suppressor companies are really hurting. And then third, I mean, it would really help out. I know most gun owners want to help other people and companies that are supporting the Second Amendment. So, I mean, you all have your favorite brands, uh, M&P, Smith & Wesson, not Springfield, or Rock River Armory, that's for sure. That was a bad deal. But anyway, most firearm owners are really passionate about the brands they buy things from and the firearm industry in general. So as someone, who wants to work in that industry, I don't mind helping people out, especially when it's a rough time. So that's some food for thought. So I just wanted to let you guys know that I might have a suppressor to review in the future whenever it gets out of ATF jail and everything. So other than that, I just wanted to let you guys know why you should probably look into buying a suppressor if you've been holding off on one. Anyway, that's my quick little short video, so I'll see you guys later.